Alright, John Oakes here with Hankster's Hot Rods here in our Homer City, Pennsylvania location today. And here in our showroom, we're going to go over our newest addition to our inventory. This is a 1971 Dodge Demon. Now this car here is done in a correct color here. This is a butterscotch color that Mopar had. And you see all the decals here, and this would be correct for this car too. So the way that the hood's laid out, all of that is all correct for this car. I'm just going to kind of start by going over just all the bright work on it, kind of in general. The bumpers, all the trim around the grills, doors, all that stuff. It's all in great shape, nicely polished up, nice and straight, no dents, no dings. It all looks good. You'll just kind of see that in the video as we walk around. So obviously, as you can see, we've got the black stripes on the hood. We've got the dual scoops on the hood. We've got the black stripe, the black longitudinal stripe down the side of the car. Again, this is all factory options here. And you'll be able to tell that because this does have the fender tag on it, which has every option or most every option on it that the car would have come with. Obviously, you've got the Demon decals here with the 340 here also. Now, when we get to the motor, we'll discuss that 340 there because that's not the motor that's in it, but we'll go over what is in it. You can see panel fitment on this car. The gaps on the front, gaps at the back of the door, very uniform. Elevations when compared with the front fender and the rear quarter panel and your door, all of which are right in line with one another. All your body lines all line up very, very good too. Again, this thing's super straight. The paint is in excellent condition on this car. Now, as far as the mirrors, just the driver's side. The chrome on that mirror is in great shape, as well as the glass on it. Of course, we've got the drip rail moldings here, and as I always do, we feel through that rain gutter. Make sure that that's nice and straight, and it is nice and smooth. And again, your windows here, both your door glass and your quarter windows here, those are in great shape, slightly tinted, and again, no cracks or chips whatsoever in any of that glass. Now again, the rear quarter window here does not roll up and down. It's the pop-out window, so you'll have that. Now again, your chrome on your door handle, no pitting whatsoever there either. Looks in great shape. We'll go ahead and open this up. Take a look inside now at the interior. Again, this is the all-black interior. It's kind of that plaid design inside there. It's the factory dash, factory instrumentation. It does have a few aftermarket gauges on it. Probably the oil pressure, water temperature, and it looks like it's got a tack down below. It's got the factory radio in it and factory heater controls as well. Steering wheel, steering column, again, all of which are all factory, and it is column shift. It is bench seats up front with the headrests. All of the all of the seat belts are all there. So everything looks good. Carpeting looks great in the car. No rips, no tears, no fading, not even in the upholstery. And you can see the door panels on this thing too are in excellent condition. And again, it does have the Demon badging on the door panels. So we'll close this up. Just before we do though, weather stripping and seals here on the windows, all of which are in great shape. Nice and soft the whole way around. There's no rips, tears, no chunks out of it. All looks very good, and it's all going to seal up very nice also. Door shuts, zip very easy, and again, all in alignment with one another here. As we come back, we'll just briefly touch on the wheels and tires here. These are the factory style rally wheels, complete with beauty rings and center caps. They've gone with 14-inch up front, 15-inch wheels on the back, and BFGoodrich Radial TA tires front and rear too, matching tread, but they did go a little different sizes obviously. 205 70 R14s up front, and on the back, let me just grab a size here real quick, 275 60 R15s on the back. As we come around the rear of the car now, again, you're going to see first and foremost that bright shiny rear bumper here. Again, that chrome is in excellent condition. Up here at the tail panel of the car, you can see all the Demon decal work up here, just as it should be, with your black stripe here on the tail panel, your Demon 340 here right on the side of that too. And then, of course, on your trunk, you've got the Dodge badging here as well. Next thing you see is the black trunk wing. Trunk wing in this great shape here. It's mounted down nice and solid, and you can see the gaps And we'll look at the elevations the whole way around on that trunk lid also. All the fitment is in great shape on this vehicle. You can see the bright work molding here around that rear window. Again, the rear window is in great shape too. No chips or cracks there. Tail lights, same thing. All the lenses, all in great condition. There's no chips or cracks in any of the lenses. And again, just the subtle bezels around them, the black that's inside of that tail panel, those are all nice too. And then if you look down below, you can see where the exhaust comes out right underneath that rear bumper. Nice set of slash cut, kind of an oval rectangular exhaust tip there. So real nice look for the car to finish off the exhaust. Let's go ahead and open our trunk lid up. Okay, so the trunk lock works. Latch works, the hood or the trunk hinges and spring all work. As you can see, it's holding that up. And again, this trunk lid's a little bit of weight to it since it does have that rear trunk spoiler on it. So again, you can tell spring and so forth is all in good shape there. It does have the original bumper jack in it also, mounted up alongside the quarter panel there inside the trunk. So again, that's all there. You've got a set of floor mats here, nice trunk mat here also, and the trunk floor itself is in great shape, just as well as the rest of this entire car. You can see all of your weather stripping here too. All of that is nice and soft the whole way around. Again, no rips or tears. Meets together right here in the center, so it's going to seal up nicely from the outside elements. You even got the little rubber bump stops here, so the trunk lid comes down and fits flush. And then you've got your instructions here on the underside of the trunk, which by the way is still painted that same butterscotch as the exterior of the car. So we'll close this up and then we'll continue around the passenger side. So again, everything over here is going to be all the same. You got the longitudinal stripes. Wheels and tires we've already been over. We get here now to the windows and doors. Again, your drip rail moldings are in great shape. The rain gutter itself nice and smooth. All the glass here, no chips or cracks in that. Door gaps at the back side as well as the front side, very uniform. Elevations are dead on. All body lines line up too. And the door handle, no pitting on that. We'll open this door up. That way you get to see the interior from both sides. The dash here, the dash pad, there's no cracks in any of that. No rips or tears in any of the upholstery or in any of the carpeting. Again, this thing is in great condition inside and out. And again, all of our seals and weather stripping on our door side here, those are all in great shape so that we can close this up and everything's going to seal up just fine. So again, door shuts nice and easy. Fender mounted antenna, matching decals on this side. And we'll come around to the front now. So here's where the front end of the car is, 71 Dodge Demon. This is your typical grille up front. The grille is in great shape. No breaks or cracks or anything there. All intact on one piece. Your headlights are just your traditional sealed beam units, glass lenses, no chips or cracks in any of that. All of your parking light assemblies, those are in great shape. Chrome front bumper, same thing, no pitting there at all. Lower valance in great shape too. Up here at your hood, you've the leading edge of the hood, you've got your bright work, your trim work here. That's all in great shape. As we look at the hood now from this angle, again you see those black stripes up over the hood, the dual scoops on the hood as well. Your cowl basically is all black to match up with your stripes. And then your windshield here also slightly tinted at the top side. Of course that goes away as you come down the bottom of the windshield. Nice set of windshield wipers here too. All of your trim around the window in great shape. This car obviously has the hood pins in it too. So as we're up here, we're going to go ahead, pull those hood pins out so that we can go ahead and raise the hood up and take a look at what we've got underneath here. So let me find the hood latch. Okay, so now that we've got the hood open, we'll start with the underside of the hood itself. So those scoops up top, those are functional. You can see the ports down here for them, so that'll help pull that cool air down here and be able to, feed your motor with a little bit of fresh cool air. As far as the engine bay itself, this is correct for a Mopar. All the same color as the exterior of the car. Like I said, it does have the fender tag here too, so that you can decode the car and see what exactly is there. And as far as the motor goes now, let's talk a little bit about that. It is not the original motor for it, not the 340. It is a 360. Now this motor's had some work done to it. Very stout running 360, so you will not be disappointed with it. Obviously on our motor, you can see it's got the chrome Edelbrock air filter on it. Underneath is a Holley dual feed double pumper there, 4-barrel carburetor. Aluminum intake. It's got the painted valve covers. Of course, it's got a set of the long tube headers on it. Dual exhaust, the dual Flowmaster mufflers on this, and then we already showed you the dual tailpipes on the vehicle as well. As far as the ignition system, pretty much you know, along the stock lines of things. Got the stock style distributor in there, but it is I believe a billet distributor though, from what I remembered reading on this. As far as the plug wires, those have been upgraded to a set of Taylor 8mm plug wires. It's got, as I said before, or maybe not yet, but we will say it right now, it's a manual steering car, a manual brake car. However, it is disc brakes up front, drums out on the back, and of course all the emergency brake stuff is all hooked up and functional as well. Factory style radiator with shrouds, 7-blade cooling fan with the clutch fan on there too, so that's going to, you know, get you cooled down here on those hot days. That's pretty much it as far as the motor goes. Alright, so now we are underneath our 71 Dodge Demon. So as always, we're going to go ahead through this car from front to back, going over the steering, suspension, braking, driveline, frame, floors, exhaust, wheels, tires, you name it. We're going to go over it right now and let you know exactly what's on this car. Starting at the front, kind of part of the frame here, but we're going to tie it in with the front suspension, and that is the front K-member here, 4-year cross member. That is in great shape and nice and straight across the bottom of it. Now as far as the suspension, as far as your control arms and so forth, this is all stock suspension underneath here. So your upper and lower control arms, all stock. Ball joints are in all good shape on this. This does have the sway bar on it, and your sway bar bushings both at the frame and over at your sway bar end lengths, those are all in good shape as well. As far as the rest of the suspension, as with most of your older Mopars like this, you're going to have the torsion bar front suspension. Again, those are in good shape. The bushings going through the cross member back here, those are all in good shape. And again, it's got the strut rods up front too, so you can easily adjust your caster on the vehicle. As far as steering goes, this is a manual steering car. All of your tie rods, you're going to be able to see them here at the back sides here of your control arms. Those are all in good shape, nice and straight. Ball joints all have the little rubber dust boot cover on all 4 of them. And again, that's just to help keep the grease in, keep any dirt and so forth out away from those ball joints, to keep those ball joints in good shape. And as far as the braking system, this is manual brakes on this car. However, it is disc brakes up front and then drum brakes out on the rear of the car, all of which stops very well on this vehicle. Now we'll come into the center now, go over our driveline while we're standing here. So this is not the original motor, but it is a 360 Mopar engine. This thing it's got some work done to it. It's very stout running 360. Now as far as the rest of this driveline, we've got the it's a 727 automatic Torqueflite transmission. The oil pan, or the trans pan I should say here, very dry, no leaks or drips. Same thing with this oil pan. Now this oil pan also on the motor, it's kind of a like a dual kick deep oil pan, so that you can run the extra oil in it. Anytime you can do that, a little extra oil is always a little better for these motors. Again, extra insurance basically for that motor. Then when we come back here, of course you've got your cross member here for your transmission. That is nice and straight the whole way across. The actual tail shaft mount is in good shape too. The back of the transmission, that rear seal where your slip yoke slides in, That is nice and dry also, no leaks or drips there. Drive shaft is balanced. Again, that's going to help eliminate a lot of the vibration that you might have in your driveline. And then of course the rear end. Now this is the Mopar 8 3/4 rear. It is the POSI unit, I believe. I think Mopar called it the short rip or something like that. But anyways, it is a 323 gear in that rear end. As far as the rear suspension, obviously you can see it is a multi-leaf rear suspension, just a typical set of gas shocks back here. As I've already mentioned, the rear drum brakes here. Now these drum brakes also have, you can see all the cables all hooked up, all the lines here underneath for your emergency brake, your parking brake. It is all hooked up and it is all functional on this car. And as we come back here a little further, you've got the fuel tank back here. This is just your stock fuel tank. It is in great condition too. All your mounting hardware, your straps and so forth, those are all in great shape too. And as far as the trunk floor we can see back here, that all looks to be in good shape too. You've got the spare tire provision that you can see underneath here. Got all your stamping lines and everything in there as the correct metal. No patching whatsoever. We move forward. We look at our floors here. These are the original floors. And you can see all the stamping lines and all of those. All of your braces coming off the side of the car here from your pinch welds here. Everything is in great shape. All of the little rubber, these would be your drain plugs. Those are all inserted where they need to be. Again, the fuel lines, brake lines, you can see those are all routed nice and neat right along the pinch welds on the car. Brake lines over here too. Again, very nicely done. And as far as the exhaust, obviously that's the next thing that you can see underneath here. We've got the long tube headers coming off of that 360 cubic inch motor. Dual exhaust here, all the way back into the dual Flowmaster mufflers. And then of course it does have the correct style of tailpipe. Goes up over top of that rear end housing and then straight out the back. Nice set of oval slash cut chrome exhaust tips back there.